Hi viewers, welcome to interview.com. I'm going to continue answering the remaining questions in the topic Java exception. So in the previous video, I've said that I'll be answering few questions. So can I catch runtime exception? Can I catch error? Explain catch block, finally block and its purposes. Okay, for the first question, can I catch runtime exception? Can I catch error? I have written a simple example so that you can understand. Okay, so here you can see, can I catch runtime exception? Yes, you are throwing a runtime exception and you can catch it. Okay, this is the unchecked exception, and error is also unchecked exception. Okay, so you can throw, you can catch, but the compiler will not bother about whether you're throwing or catching the runtime exception, or it does not bother about catching throwing error. But in the case of throwable, you can see here it says unhandled exception type throwable. So apart from error and runtime exception, everything under throwable is checked exception. Let's see the hierarchy. So what I'm trying to say is, including throwable, under throwable and including throwable, everything is checked exception except runtime exception and error. That means, what does that mean? That means you can throw error, you can throw runtime exception, but declare and handle rule does not apply for runtime exception and error. So I answered the first two questions, and I've shown you example also. Can I explain catch block and finally block and its purposes? If you use an option finally block, it will always be invoked regardless of whether an exception in the corresponding try is thrown or not, and regardless of whether a thrown exception is caught or not. Finally block will be always will be called. Okay, whether the code is executed properly in the try block or there is exception in the catch block, whatever happens. Okay, so the finally block will always be executed. The only exception for the finally will always be called rule is that the finally will not be invoked if the JVM shuts down. If the JVM shuts down, the finally block will not be called. This could happen if from the try or catch block calls system exit code. You can create your own exception by extending exception class. Okay, this point you can remember, you can create your own exception by extending exception class. So I'll be showing you how the finally block works. Okay, so I have written an example so that you can understand. So let's go and debug directly. So I have written a code, say demo try, demo catch and demo exit. What happens is, demo try is, the code in the try block will be executed and finally block will be executed. For catch, I'm throwing exception from try block, so it will come to catch, then finally block will be executed. What does that mean? It means finally block will be called always irrespective of whatever happens in the catch block or try block. Okay, and one more scenario is system.exe. What will happen if I have system.exe in catch block or try block? Finally block will not be called. Let's see this, how it works. So let's see. So I'm going into the finally timeout try block. So try block code is executed, then comes to finally block. Okay, finally block will always be called. That's what I'm trying to prove it here. So again, code is the other method, so I'm throwing an exception here. So it goes to catch, then finally it goes to finally block. Okay, then demo exit. It should not go because JVM is going to shut down. So finally this finally block will not be called. So that's why I've said here finally will not be called at all. Okay, then one more thing I want to share here is, throwable and the subclasses except error and runtime exception put together are called checked exceptions. So throwable and its subclasses except error and runtime exception or checked exceptions. If these exceptions are not handled or checked by the programmer in coding, the program does not compile. Okay. Okay, I've explained you what is finally block. It allows the programmer to avoid. So why do we need finally block? It allows the programmer to avoid having cleanup code accidentally bypassed by return or continue or break. Putting up cleanup code in a finally block is always a good practice, even when no exceptions are anticipated. So, for example, finally block, how you can use this. Say for example, here you're using file reader. Okay, so say C of dot text file. Okay, so you're done with your work. So you can say if fr is not equal to null, you can release this. Close. So you can release this file handler safely. Okay, so this is where the advantage. So because for a JVM we will have minimum resources, so you have to close it. This is the best practices. This is where the finally block comes into picture, and programmer should close it, so that this code is very important. You should do it, otherwise you are holding the resources, so it will be a problem later. Okay, this is the benefit of finally block. Hope you understood the concept. Thanks for watching this video. For more Java interview questions, log on to interview.com, India's top interview guide. Thank you and all the best for your core Java interview.